Welcome YouTube to 11 tips for our fine-haired friends. Now here's the thing, fine-haired friends, we're always seeing in the comments, like, what about for fine hair? What about for fine hair? Whether your hair is fine, thick, kinky, coily, wavy, straight, whatever, fine hair needs the same things that anybody else's hair does, which is either more moisture or more strength or more body and volume. But in fine hair's case, more of fine hair people are gonna want more body and volume. But I say that to share with you that if your hair is fine, there's nothing wrong with your hair. Your hair is beautiful. It's not like pathologically different than like thick hair or coarse hair. It just needs like a little bit of different things, a little bit less product. So fine hair friends, you're all good, you're in the right place, and we love you to pieces. Now let's dive in to 11 tips for gorgeous fine hair. First tip. Oh God, I caught something on camera. Call the press, it's crazy. If your hair is really fine, do not use this concentrator. Catch. She didn't catch it as well as I did. Concentrators are not your friend if your hair is fine. Throw it to me, let's keep playing catch. But yeah, so basically a concentrator or a nozzle, it's gonna concentrate the airflow, so it's gonna make your hair sleeker and lay flatter. So if your hair is really fine and you want more body and volume, take this sucker off and let that blow dryer just blow dry your hair big. Just let it get huge. See, look, so much volume. So blow it big without a nozzle when you want your hair bigger. Our next tip, I didn't even look. Am I a baseball player? Am I the first non-binary queer baseball player? I'm probably not.
You just have a really good throw.
You be the judge. Velcro rollers, such a good trick. Again, it's great for fine hair, but you don't have to have fine hair to use it. So good to just pop these suckers in, especially for like a day 2 refresh. You can just come right into your, oh God. You don't have to do your whole head. You can just do your crown, which I love this, is a little trick. And just grab your hair and throw in a few Velcro rollers. If your ends were dry, you could put some instant recovery serum on your mid-lengths and ends and then put this in and let it sit for like 30 minutes while you do your makeup or like make breakfast or whatever. Okay, so then what you can do once those are in, you can just pop on a diffuser and just diffuse it. You could also do like this section here and here if you wanted. Now I'm cold shotting it. Ooh, this is actually another really good trick. You can leave the end out and just roll your root, like just to give you more lift at the root, which actually is such a good trick. So then you just undo. Look, see the difference between this side and this side? So this is a great trick for people with finer hair. You can do it on your hair if it's thick too, and it'll still give you lift, but it's just really nice for our finer haired friends because it'll just perk up your life a little. It'll just kind of like refresh your blow dry, give you some more volume. Our next tip for fine hair is, it's a really important tip, and it's a movement. Movement, not layers, movement. So sometimes when your hair is finer, it's like, ooh, like don't layer it. I don't want any layers, because you're like, you just want to retain all the hair that you have, and you've had like weird layers in the past, and so you're just like, that was a bad experience. I don't want anything. So often in life, like things are about like compromises and like happy mediums, and that's kind of what like layers are for fine hair. Really what you want is a little bit of movement in the hair. If you have too many layers, that can make fine hair appear even finer. But if you have no layers and no movement in the hair, like no weight taken out, it makes it kind of like super, like kind of scraggly and like just makes it look even wispier. What you want is movement, and you want to be able to talk to your hairdresser about how you need movement in your hair, not necessarily like a super layered look, unless you're gonna go super duper short, which brings me to the importance, especially for finer hair, of using photos when you're doing consultations, especially with the new hairdresser. But again, that's like a tip for all people's hair, but it's especially true of fine hair. Our next tip for fine hair, but actually everybody's hair, is you want to protect your hair from breakage, but especially when your hair is fine. Because if you have less density of hair and less amount of hair, or if your hair is just fine individually, you want to protect it from breakage so that it can retain its fullness and its shape as much as possible. So a great way to protect your hair from breakage is what, class? Masking! Yes, if you guessed mask, you were right. And it just so happens we have a great one. This is our Nurture Mask. It's incredible. This has vegan ceramides in it. It also has our hemisqualane. It also has rice protein. So this is really good. It's super strengthening to the hair. Masks are fabulous for your hair. Fine hair friends, it's so important on that note to sleep with your hair up. Your body is a 98.6 degree flat iron, but when you lay in bed and you have like a heavy blanket on you and your head's on the pillowcase, if you sleep with your hair down, it's just going like this between your body weight and the pillow, just friction, heat. And sometimes, you know, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, God, it's hot in here. It's a little bit hotter than 98.6 degrees back here. Like it can be like 100, you know, it's hot. And it's 8 hours a night that you spend just schluffing your hair up against that pillowcase. Another tip I'm obsessed with for fine hair. Oh my God. Oh my God. If your hair is prone to falling flat, or if you're just someone who like loves volume at the crown, also though, we need to protect our hair no matter who we are. So you still want to condition your scalp and you want to condition your roots. So many times you'll hear people say like, ooh, don't put conditioner on my roots. That's not good. Your scalp is so open in the shower. You definitely want to put conditioner from roots to tips for you to experience all the maximum benefits of the formulation in the conditioner. But if you want to have more fullness at the root, honey, check out a volumizing conditioner for your root, and then you can cocktail that into a different conditioner on your mid-lengths and ends. So I love to use personally Embody on my roots because it'll help me retain fullness. And then on my more fragile, weaker hair on my mid-lengths and ends, I'll use Undamage, which is rich in protein, which will really help to prevent breakage. Our next tip, and I cannot stress this enough. I feel like my grandmother being like, I just want you to be happy. Heat protectant is so important. I've had so many clients in my career who were like, especially like finer hair clients who are like, oh my God, like I don't want any stuff in my hair because it like weighs my hair down and like that, you know, I want my blow dry to last a long time. Heat protectants have come such a far way. The formulations have come such a far way. So if it's been like 5 years since you tried a heat protectant, please try again. Like it is time to jump in. The water's great, but heat protectants are really going to prevent your hair from breaking off from heat styling. Blow dryers, flat irons can go up to 450 degrees. And if you let like the flat iron or curling iron like sit on the same piece of hair over and over and there's no barrier, your hair really can become so damaged. Our Drew Barrymore TikTok video, you can physically see the difference in how things respond that have heat protectant versus not. This is the part where we put the serum. Obviously, this is where we didn't. And look at that. That's why we always practice what? Safe heat styling.
I have never in my life seen anything as interesting as this test. This says everything.
That's how we test if our products are giving adequate heat protection. So heat protectant is your best friend. If you haven't had a chance to check out Instant Recovery Serum. So amazing, so lightweight. Protects your hair up to 450 degrees, but will never leave any sort of heavy residue. It's so absorbent into the hair. And for fine hair, your best friend, your Biffy of all time, just like your Biffy who just like can't stop sending like funny memes to, you know, just like just your best friend of all time, Embody Foam. Right here, gorgeous. Embody Foam's formula is next level. Wherever you want more body and volume, just put it there. So you can put it on your scalp, you can put it on your mid-lengths and ends, a hemisqualane as always, but also this formula features biotin or B7, which is going to help hair thickness because it helps make your hair not break. Then we also have our marshmallow root extract, which gives the hair this beautiful, plump, full feeling without drying the hair out or making it like frizzy. Finally, we have volumizing polymer. Volumizing polymer lends an instant plumpness to all the hair strands that it touches. So when you use your Embody Foam, you want to use like a wide tooth comb or a wet brush to distribute it all the way throughout the hair. It just gives your hair the most amazing, full, instant, beautiful texture. It's incredible. Oh my God, it's fine hair's best friend. For our next tip, scalp care. Pre-wash scalp oil, you should watch this video to learn all about scalp care, but honestly, if you don't have an extra like 12 minutes right now or however long it is, just a quick little crash course. Scalp care is so important to overall hair growth and hair health. And what you really don't want to have is congestion in your scalp or a lot of dryness in your scalp. Using something like pre-wash scalp oil or another pre-poo treatment that has great formula and great ingredients is going to be so important to your overall scalp health. Some things that you want to avoid when you're thinking about like scalp moisture treatments, I hate to say it, but it's true. Coconut oil, you think it's going to be amazing, but it's actually like a medium chain fatty acid. So it's really a thick occlusive barrier, and it's kind of like, it can be really like too heavy and like doesn't really address the moisture issue because it's too thick of a molecule. So it doesn't really penetrate through the hair. It just sits on the outside and it can actually exacerbate the dryness. So take a little bit of extra time in your self-care routine and give yourself some scalp care. Detangler, everybody's best friend, but you know who really loves it? Fine hair. Fine hair is more prone to breakage because of its natural texture. If you look at it wrong, it's gonna freaking, frazzle out at the ends a little bit. And a lot of times for people with fine hair, bring on the highlights, bring on the whatever. Like, I want all the extensions, I want the highlights, I want all the things. It's really important to preserve the hair that you have and prevent breakage in the first place. So detangler is really, really good, especially for like day 2, day 3, and day 4 refreshes. So like when you're gonna like take the blow dryer back to your hair, put on a little bit of a reviving mist, put on something to protect the hair a little bit before you take the heat back to it. Our next tip is backcombing. Backcombing's a thing, and it's not just for like our Midwestern girlfriends. It can be for everyone. There's a lot of different ways to backcomb. So let's talk about it. There's like so many ways to do this, but basically like you can talk about backcombing at your scalp, and then you can also talk about backcombing down here, like on your ends, to create more fullness, right? So they're both good for different reasons. And I like for people to do backcombing at your scalp if you're feeling inclined, but you just gotta finish it right. Like you can't just like go in and just like, rat it up all willy-nilly and then just be like, okay, it's done now. If you see my little hair, right? It's really important like how you hold it. When you're teasing, you have to have your hair under even tension. The motion for backcombing is like little C shapings. And the more backcombing you do, the more you're gonna have to finish it. So if your hair is super fine, I wouldn't suggest doing like so much because like it's gonna show. So you can just kind of like go through everywhere over the top of your hair and just like pack the hair right onto your scalp using like a little C-shaped section. So basically you just kind of like take a little brush after that and you kind of just like smooth out the top. I like to do the ends. You can use a brush like this, or you can, again, use a comb. But basically for the ends, you can just like take it and you just hold everything and you kind of just go like, and you just do like a few little things like that to kind of like create a little bit more like fullness in the hair. And it's still a C shaping, but you're kind of just doing like underneath the hair. Oh my God, YouTube, I hope you loved that as much as we did. We love you so much. Thank you for supporting our work. Thank you for supporting our channel. Fine haired friends, we love you so much. Do not forget to use your heat protectant, and we'll see you next time on YouTube.